Hello and welcome to AVR120, AVR Programming and Simulations 1. I am Richard Gillespie. I am going to be your instructor for the course. A little bit about me. I have worked in a variety of different fields. That includes IT. I've done some project management. I've done. I'm currently a developer, and I've been through the prior iteration of this program as well. So this will be my second year teaching the class, but my first time teaching it online here. So these videos are kind of, a work in progress. So bear with me a little bit. I am currently a developer here at the school, part of our development team that is kind of separate away from the classroom portion of it. I have experience working on grant-funded augmented reality, virtual reality, and WebGL applications, and predominantly using Unity and mostly education-based. In addition, my job entails video creation as well. On a personal note, I enjoy coding, game editing, video, coding, gaming, editing video, and spending time with my fiance and my dog. So what we're going to start off doing here is we're just going to go through Canvas and just get yourself familiar with the Canvas shell as you'll be spending a predominant amount of your time here. So on this first page, you'll see that all of the on the homepage, you'll see all of the assignments that are listed, their due dates, and essentially when at what time they need to be handed in by on those due dates. So we in the first week you can see it's pretty much at the end of every week you're going to have an assignment. So the first week you have your Hello RPG. The second week we're going to be focusing on more of object-oriented kind of RPG using object-oriented paradology. We're also going to be using. You're also going to need to have your personal portfolio project. We'll go into that a little bit later. We're also going to go over different projects in Unity. So Unity 2D, Unity 3D, and we'll have a couple of different projects we'll be doing in there as well, which I'll go over a little bit more here. So kind of just going through here, the assignments on the left here, this is where you will see all of your assignments listed, what the due dates, and when you click into them, they'll actually have very specific uh, stipulations as to what they will need and where you can find that information. Your grades will be listed here, so what grades you receive. The course will have 1,000 points in total. Excuse me. All the files are going to be listed on the left here, left-hand side as well. These files will have a variety of different pieces in them. I'm trying to organize them by week. I'll be adding more as we go along. One thing to note in particular that I wanted to go over is this Unity setup document. So we'll predominantly be using Unity, and Unity is a game engine which is basically going to be the basis for most of our projects. We're going to be using that in conjunction with the programming language C Sharp and the Integrated Development Environment Visual Studio. So when you download Unity Hub specifically, it will download Microsoft Visual Studio with it as a component, as Unity needs that to do its scripting. So to go over this a little bit, your minimum requirements are going to be listed here, so we can look at that. The minimum requirements required here are at least Windows 7. You need to have a decent CPU, graphics card that's capable of DirectX 10, 11, or 12. And you want a little bit of a decent amount of RAM, a decent computer, just because it's definitely graphically intensive. The applications we're going to be making and all of that there. So in order to start on your Unity journey, you're going to need to make a Unity ID. You should be prompted to do this when you download Unity Hub, but you can also find the link here, and you'll have to create your ID. So you'll enter your email and password. You'll have a full username, and then you'll need to put your full name in there and create the ID. I'm not going to go ahead and do that myself because I already have an ID. It's good to just, and this will be separate from yours. This will be your personal ID. This will be good just because in the future, if you ever want to develop your own applications or anything like that, you'll have the ability to do so. So the next piece here is the actual downloading and installing of Unity Hub. So you can find that link here, and you'll want to download Unity Hub. Okay. So when you download Unity Hub, after you kind of walk through it and install all the pieces there, it should look like this basically. Let me go back to the main page here. You'll see a list of your projects. So when you add a new project, they'll be in this list. But what we're going to be kind of focusing on here a little bit is the installs. So you'll want to, it's actually still installing for me, but you'll want to install Unity version 2021.3.8 F1. That's the latest LTS. So in order to do that, you'll need to go to this installs, then the add button, and you'll click on this LTS, all right, and then I'm going to just do it on another version so you can see, but you'll want to click the latest LTS. You'll click the Unity version, you'll click Next, and then you'll be prompted to select DevTools in Microsoft Visual Studio 2019. And that's what we're going to be focusing on for the first couple weeks of this course is working in Microsoft Visual Studio. And again, that is an IDE, a integrated development environment. That is where you will be coding predominantly. You could also add all these other pieces to Unity. So if you wanted to install the Android, make applications for Android, for iOS, or Mac, you could select those options. I like to select these options just because I do development on those in those environments. But you want to really make sure that you're hitting the Windows build support. That's predominantly what we're going to be working with. So you'd click next. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to install this version of it. But once you do that, it'll just like download here. If you ever need to add more of those modules, you can hit these three little dots here. Go to Add Modules, and you'll be able to add whatever you need. It takes you back to that second section of the installer. In addition to that, if you hit the Show and Explore button, it'll actually take you to where the files are on your computer. So, this is in my program files, Unity, Hub, Editor, da 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 da. So this is like if you just need to find your Unity install quickly, you can do that as well. Okay, so now what we'll go ahead and do is kind of just go over the syllabus a little bit. So we're navigating back to the website here, the Canvas shell, I should say. Oh, sorry, one more thing. I've also linked a document. It's a little bit, the dates are a little bit outdated, but it's literally a step-by-step of video, and then a step-by-step on how to download, install, and all of that as well. This part I need to actually go over as well. Sorry, excuse me. So if you go to Unity Hub, the other thing you're going to need to do, and I don't really need to do it because I've already activated the license, you're going to need to activate the license here, okay? So in order to do that, you would just go to the cog up in the top right here, click that, and then go to License Management and activate your new license, and you're going to want a personal license, okay? All right. In addition, this document has some links and things for personal project ideas and tutorials, which will be important because one of the things you're going to be doing for our class is a personal portfolio project where you will be tasked with essentially choosing a project of your own choosing. It can really, it's very open ended. It can be what you'd want as long as you're doing it in Unity and you're using some code. I'm pretty open and flexible to make what you make. We've had people make some 2D games, survival games in the past, um, just shooters. So yeah, as long as you're doing that, I am pretty happy with that. But here's some ideas for that project when we get to it. So I'm going to close this out here. And again, this is the file section, so you're going to find most of the files here. I will be updating and uploading more files as the year goes forward. Modules is where you're going to find the predominant content of this class here. So in the first week, I have the fundamentals, PDF, a syllabus. This video, I'll mention this too. This video is how you're going to be uploading your programming files. So if we go to the files here again, and then we go to uploading programming assignments, this video will walk you through how to find your project files and how to upload them. Generally, just I'll go over it quick here. Your programming files are going to be located essentially here. So it's going to be your C drive, your users, all right? So that's like, where your documents are saved and things like that. Mine's Rich G. So you'll click into that and then source and repos. Repo is a repository for code. So you'll have, your code repository here. So now let's go ahead and go over the syllabus. So you can get to the syllabus by going either simple syllabus or if you go to the files under the syllabus folder, you can find the syllabus there as well. I'm going to go through it on the simple syllabus. So again, my name is Richard Gillespie. My email is located here. Here's my telephone number for my office. Generally, I prefer email. So if you're going to reach out to me, please do so via email. Um, the office, I'm located at the urban campus on the second floor in office 216. I share an office with a couple of other developers on the team. My office hours are by appointment only. So if you do need to meet with me, send me an email and we can set something up. And please allow for 24 hours after you've sent your email for a response. If I miss an email for whatever reason, you can send another one, and I will get back to you as soon as I can uh, within 24 hours. So we kind of went over the minimum requirements, but I've listed the link here again as well. We have the links for Unity Hub and Visual Studio as well. So when Visual Studio is installed via Unity Hub, I believe that you're going to need to make a Microsoft developer login. So you'll have to go through that process there. In addition to that, we'll just go ahead and kind of go through this right now. So you'll have the Visual Studio you met with this screen here. You'll want to go to Community, and it will actually start downloading the setup here. This is 2020, so I believe that Unity Hub installs 2019. I would prefer to use 2019, so I'll have to update this in the syllabus. My mistake, but I'll kind of just walk through how you would install this. So you'll kind of go ahead, you'll open this up, and okay, so that's just saying there's another instance running. It's because I have another version of this up just to show you guys. But basically, when you are met with this screen, what you're going to want to prioritize is the desktop and mobile section, .NET development, Universal Windows Platform, and then game development with Unity. That's when you're installing Visual Studio via the download link on the syllabus. It should set up automatically when you open up Unity Hub, and you'll probably get prompted when you make your first script in Unity Hub too. But now that I think about it, since we're going to be doing programs in the first programs in just a Visual Studio, you're going to have to download it. So and install it this way. You'll hit install, and it'll install in the appropriate location there. Should be your C drive. Um, since I kind of have the latest version, we probably want 2019. So yeah, if you want to do an older version, you're just gonna have to search for it here. I'll update this link, but just type in 2019 Visual Studio, and it'll be this link, and you'll want to just click download, and it will be the same process there. For recommended technology here, we have a flash drive and external hard drive. The flash drive and external hard drive is more so just for you to be able to A, save space on your computer, and B, be able to transfer it to different locations if need be. In addition to that, we have the GitHub desktop app, which is essentially an online repository for your code project, and it allows you to easily transfer your code back and forth between. I mean, not in our case, it won't be you won't be at the school since you'll be working remotely, but it just allows you to have a backup and easily transfer code back and forth. You don't have to install that, but if that's something you're interested in, you can reach out to me and I can go over how to set it up more in depth or provide some documentation on how to do that. The instructions are here. And there's two components. There's the actual website, the GitHub website, which is the online repository for your code. But there's also a desktop application which talks with the online repository and is a very easy way to update all of your information there. Um, after that, we have course objectives, outcomes, and competencies. So the course objectives, outcomes, and competencies. What I'd like for you to do is to be able to describe the fundamentals of programming and practice proper programming techniques to demonstrate game and simulation development within game software. An understanding of that, we're going to be developing multiple projects, so I want you to be able to demonstrate that you are capable of doing that, and then I want you to be able to essentially have projects that you'll be able to put on your resume, etc., and kind of dip your feet wet, dip your feet into the application and get more experience with it. So in terms of the procedure for late assignments, any work submitted to Canvas after the due date is considered late, and it is automatic 15% deduction on the assignment, and the maximum amount of credit you can get is 85%. In addition to that, after 1 week, late assignment will just not be accepted. If you have extenuating circumstances, you can email me and we can discuss it. But I need communication from you
and an explanation as to what the issue may be with the assignment. And doing it like 9 p.m. the night before is not going to work out very well. So uh, if you have valid reasons, or I'm pretty flexible, just let me know, and you'll just need to get those assignments in by the due date. In general, for very, very few circumstances where it's going to be okay to hand things in late, so um, or after the 1 week mark. But um, just reach out to me, and we can discuss it there. In terms of your communication with me, please be formal in your emails, and sensible, and then allow for 24 hours for a response there. You can find the college policies in this eicc.edu handbook, um, and some different information about the academic integrity FERPA, some of the services we offer, disability services, tutoring. So we'll kind of go past that. You can read that at your own leisure. In terms of grading policies, scales, and rubrics, here is the grading scale. All right. And it goes, you get about 1,000 points for the entire class. So each assignment is between 90 and 150 points, I believe. So um, prioritize accordingly. And here's the scale in terms of your grades. The assignments and expectations, I want the assignments to be submitted appropriately, properly labeled per the instructions on the website, where we'll be submitting the documents. Excuse me. So the assignment section of Canvas there. Some more information about the additional services that we offer. And course assignments and due dates. So we will have multiple assignments throughout the year. I believe it's all together it's 8. So the first assignment will be due at the end of this week, essentially Sunday, the 28th. We will also have the object RPG, which is a more object-oriented formulation of an RPG project. It'll be a console project that will be due on the 11th at 11:59 p.m. You'll have a Unity 2D project that will be due on the 18th. The first person shooter is something that we'll be working on for multiple weeks. That will be due on the 16th there. In addition to that, you'll notice that we have these personal portfolio projects. I mentioned that a little bit earlier in the video, but basically, these projects will be personal projects that you will kind of have leeway to make what you want with. Um, you'll have access to Unity. I want you to create something in Unity. I want you to create something with code in it. And the stipulations are in all of these links here. You'll need to first give me the proposal, and then for benchmark 1, I want to see 3 unique features in your project, and then for benchmark 2, an additional 3 unique features, and then finally I want a PowerPoint uploaded of your project per the stipulations on that page there. That should pretty much do it for the syllabus here. I just briefly wanted to go over in general like some tips for just programming. So programming can be kind of frustrating at times, but it's very rewarding, and it's it's very rewarding when you're fixing the problem. So the things that you're going to want to focus on with programming is you want to Google things. You want to Google your problems because most likely someone has had that problem in the past. You want to logically think through your code so you can follow where your code goes, more or less. So you want to logically follow your code, think it through. Um, A thing that I like to do, if I'm having issues, is to step away for a little bit and come back to the problem if I'm not seeing the answer right away. Sometimes giving yourself some air or even talking it over with someone. I had a programmer I knew who used to have a rubber ducky next to his desk, and he would talk over the problem with the rubber ducky, and it would actually generally a lot of times solve his issues because he could see it. He said the problem and he realized, oh, that's the issue. In addition to that, iteration. So what I mean by that is going over something again and again. The basic foundation, fundamental building blocks of code is loops and iteration. So you're going to want to iterate through um, your code both from just a functionality perspective, but you also want to really look at it and understand, basically go over it again and again and again to try to find where the errors are, try to find the solutions to the problem. And that also pertains to debugging. So debugging is a big portion of what programmers do. It's finding the bugs in the software. Sometimes they're labeled in the IDE, the error is labeled. Sometimes it's a logical error, in which case there is the error, it doesn't show in the actual IDE in the Visual Studio, but it's there, and it's a problem with how the program is set up and structured. That's a little bit harder. So, again, that kind of goes back to logically thinking through the problem, Googling it, and trying to find answers there. So, again, we kind of went over the Visual Studio portion of things. But again, to reiterate, you'll want to download Visual Studio. You'll want to install it, and you'll want to, when the workloads comes up, you want the .NET desktop development, the Universal Windows development, and then the Unity um, gaming add-on there. So once you've gone ahead and installed Visual Studio here, we're going to go ahead and make a new application, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So go to your Start menu here. You'll type in Visual Studio for Windows 10. Otherwise, you'll need to kind of find where you installed it. Double click on that. You'll come to this screen here. So what we're going to want to go ahead and do is, if you have any existing projects, they're going to kind of show up in the left-hand side here. But what we're going to want to do is create a new project. So we're going to go ahead and click New Project. And at the top, you can search. There's a long list of the different types of applications you can make with Visual Studio and C#. So what we're going to search for is the console app. So go ahead and search for that now at the top. And the one in particular that we want is the console app with the parentheses .NET framework. So that's what we want. So go ahead, click that, click next. I'm just going to call this Hello RPG, or Hello, Hello World RPG. You can kind of name it what you want. I'm going to go ahead and you want the latest .NET framework you have available. And we'll go over where this file path is as well. Just go ahead and click create. So it looks like I've I've already made a version of this, so I'm literally just going to call this V2. Go ahead and create. Okay, so now we're presented with the actual IDE, right? Integrated Development Environment for C#. Okay, so essentially what this is it's a compiler for the code. So when you go ahead and you're going to be, entering the code here on the left, any sort of errors will pop up here, and you can basically run the program from this interface. We're just going to quickly go over the interface. So on the right-hand side here is the Solution Explorer. This is going to list all of your files and file paths in the solution. The solution is like the overall file with all of the files of the program within it. So underneath the solution, you'll have your Hello World RPG version 2, and then the actual .cs file is the file that has the code within it. And you can have multiple .cs files, which would all be considered different classes. We'll get more into that later, but just for now, just know that your program is going to be in this main class .cs file right here. So um, if you do not see that on your right, what you're going to want to go do is go up to View at the top, so File, Edit, View. You'll see Solution Explorer. For mine, it's Control W for like the quick keys to open it up there. But you can just click the Solution Explorer. This will allow you to see that there. And you're also going to want to see the error list. I have my set up the way I kind of like it. We can kind of go over that as well. Maybe at a later date, but for now, just have the Solution Explorer and the error list showing here. That's the most important pieces there. In addition to that, we're just going to go ahead and do a quick line of code to start our program here. So one of the first pieces you're going to learn is how to print a line via code. Okay, and you can do it by following along here. We're going to type in console dot write line. Okay, just like that. We're going to put parentheses here, okay? And whatever is in the parentheses it's going to print to the screen. So I'm going to put, we need to put parentheses around whatever's in these kind of, excuse me, we need quotation marks to print off the actual words that are within the parentheses there. So I'm going to just put hello world, okay? And then at the end here, you're going to want to go ahead and put a semicolon to end the line. And so what this is going to do here, okay, is that when we actually press start, it's going to print hello world. So we'll go ahead and do that now. That's how you start your program. And you'll see it pops up there, and it will go ahead and play the actual application. You'll see that after we start playing the application, it looks like a screen pops up and then nothing, right? So essentially what's happening is the program is running very, very fast and it is not showing what we've actually typed out there. So in order to prevent that from happening, what we're going to go ahead and do is put another line of code beneath this one. So you press return and we're going to write, again, we're going to use console dot, instead of write line, we're going to do read line now. Okay? Put the parentheses there. We don't need to put anything inside of the parentheses for the time being. Go to the end of the line and put another semicolon. And now when we're going to want to go ahead and save. When we go ahead and play this now, it'll prompt us to press any key. Here we go. So now it's just waiting for a key press to continue, excuse me. So if I press the key, it'll end the application now, any key. All right, so that is the first day tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.